Speed dating my landlord. First timers 23. Virgin erotica, alpha male erotica, age gap erotica. Written by Kimmy Welsh. Narrated by Kline. Speed dating my landlord. First timers 23. Virgin erotica, alpha male erotica, age gap erotica. When I saw the leaflet at the grocery store advertising a speed dating night nearby, I knew I just had to attend. There weren't too many options for a 19-year-old girl like me in my small town, and I was dying to finally lose my virginity. Plenty of my friends had steady boyfriends, or had random nights with strangers, and I just wished I could be in the same bracket. I was cute enough, I knew that much, but for whatever reason, it had never happened for me. Well, this speed dating event was where all my hopes were pinned. "I'm out tonight, remember?" I told Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. "Don't wait up." "I guess it's dinner for one then," she said. "Is Peter not home?" "He's out somewhere with his asshole friends," she said. She hadn't liked his friends as long as I'd been living there, and I'd been there a year. They needed the money, and I needed a room. It made sense. "Well, I'll try not to have too much fun." Mrs. Johnson sat on the couch and flicked through the channels on the television. Somewhere along the way, her and her husband had gone off on different paths. He was going to the gym more, socializing more, and generally having this get-up-and-go attitude that had really inspired me. It was one of the reasons I was going to this speed dating event on my own tonight. She, on the other hand, had become more insular. She spent most of her time inside, watching the television, whenever she wasn't working, and she was always in a horrible mood. It wasn't much of a surprise to me that Peter was spending more time away from her. "Good night," I hollered up the stairs to him. "Have a good night, Lacey," he replied, scooting across the hall in his boxer shorts and giving me a cheeky wave. It was rare for me to get a sight of a muscled, half-naked dude. It was certainly one for the memory bank, even if it was Mr. Johnson, who was the object of my young adult lust. He was much older than I was, at around 40, but his efforts in the gym had really paid off. He looked good. I found myself biting my lip as I stood at the bottom of the stairs, enjoying the moment more than I should have. Mrs. Johnson's voice startled me back to life. "Don't be loud when you come back," she called, and I half thought about telling her where to go. I took one last look at myself in the mirror in the hall, turning sideways and looking at the curves of my tight jeans. I wondered if my boots and tank top were too much, but it was too late to change it now anyway. I jumped in my car and felt the freedom of the open road as I cruised out of town and towards the bar that was hosting the night. It was an old clunker, but I still felt like I was in the movies when I let the top down and felt the warm night's breeze through my hair as I passed the billboards outside of town. It took me about an hour to drive to the bar, and I felt a nervous flutter in my stomach as I pulled up. I found an inner voice coaching me through. "You can do this, Lacey," it said. I looked at some of the patrons arriving and being greeted at the door. They all looked just as nervous as I did. I was a little early, and I guess they were too. With one last deep breath, I opened the door of my car and walked confidently to the entrance. A man with a clipboard stood at the door, checking people in. "Here for the speed dating?" he asked the woman ahead of me. She said yes, and he took her details, giving her a sheet of paper and a pen, along with a sticker that he handed her. I approached afterwards, standing there awkwardly. He smiled, but said nothing. I'm here for the speed dating?" "You are?" he said, giving me a look from head to toe. Is that a problem?" "No," he said, flustered. "No, of course not. Your name?" "Lacey Evans." I stood there awkwardly, wondering why it was a surprise that I should be here. "Well, good luck in there, Lacey," he said. "Maybe you'll hit it off with someone." I smiled and took the paper pen.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?